They're not sending their best. They're sending people that have lots of problems. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
Everyone, welcome to the show. So I have some news about more Republicans, young Republicans, who have been caught saying the most heinous, racist things. This might sound familiar because this just happened not so long ago with another group. This just happened last year. So the Miami Herald and the Floridian Press news outlets are both the first that I've seen to report on this. They apparently each obtained messages from a private group chat. These were from the Miami-Dade Republican Party. So these are young Republicans in the Miami-Dade Republican establishment. So apparently, this group chat was created by the secretary for the Miami-Dade GOP. His name is Abel Carvajal, excuse me. And within just 3 weeks of him developing or creating this chat, it devolved into what one member described, and not in a negative way, but this one member described it as, quote unquote, Nazi heaven. I am not kidding. So here's one of the articles about it. This was from the Miami Herald. And according to the journalists, they used in this group, they used the N-word over 200 times. Okay. As I say that, keep in mind, this group was only in existence, or this chat, for like 2.5 months. So in 2.5 months, they used the N-word over 200 times. And then the members in here were openly discussing violent fantasies about killing Black people. I'm going to show you some of that. They also called women whores. They called them mongrels. And they used anti-Semitic slurs. They also targeted gay people or said negative things about them, used slurs. I'm going to show you some of these leaked chats. It is almost unbelievable. Okay. Please share this video with everyone you know, because things like this very often will get demonetized. And beyond that, beyond the financial hit to me, what happens is YouTube buries it, because they're not making money off of it from advertisers. So they bury videos like this. So anyway, I'm going to show you first part of an exchange. This is from September of last year. And they're talking about a Black female student. She was part of this college Republican group, and she ended up leaving because one of the members, a guy named William Bejarano, I think is how you pronounce his name, he called her the N-word. So here's that part of the chat. And they're saying, yeah, William called her an N-word, so she left. And, you know, one woman says, oh, you're joking. Another one, oh, it's insane. William, no way. But no one condemns him. No one says, that's unacceptable. What are you doing? You know, even if just cynically, like, why are we doing this? We're losing members because of shit like this. They just make jokes about it. They make light of it. And then the Floridian Press explained that in numerous messages in these chats, Abel Carvajal, or excuse me, I'll get this right, Abel Carvajal, he used terms like migress, miglet, and migger. And they explained that these are variations of the word negress, which is apparently a slur used to describe like a female, you know, it's like a derivative of the N-word. And then they said niglet is a slur referring to African-American children. So just abhorrent. So when you guys see those in the chats that I'm going to show you, that's what they're talking about. So this next exchange took place 2 days prior to the one that I'm showing you right now. And I don't know the impetus, I don't know the context for this. It really doesn't matter though, because this is just truly vile. So here's this one. I mean, this is just disturbing beyond belief. So you can see one of the guys, Daryl Gonzalez, he starts it off saying total Negro death. And then further down in the chat, this William guy, Bergerano, he goes off on this tangent about killing Black people in all kinds of violent ways, like on and on and on. And then check this out. So the Miami Herald said that Bejarano tried to start a pro-life group at the Miami-Dade College. So he is your typical hypocritical pro-life MAGA man, right? Save the babies. What about the babies? But also, let's talk about killing Black people and their children. So this Bergerano was by far the worst one in the group, but there are others who are also little racist pricks. So the Miami Herald reported that at one point, the guy named Daryl Gonzalez, he wrote this. He said, ew, you had colored professors. I refuse to be indoctrinated by the coloreds. And then days later, they said he wrote, avoid the coloreds like the plague. This guy, by the way, that's saying this, he was in charge of recruitment for the Miami-Dade Republicans at the time. And then he also told the group that, quote, you can fuck all the kikes you want, so a slur against Jewish people, just don't marry them and procreate. These people are disgusting. So that set off a conversation about not wanting Jewish children. So here's this thread. As you guys can see here, another member of the group, guy named Ian Valdez, he replies, I would def not marry a Jew, LMAO. And then Daryl Gonzalez replies, oh, chances are you could have a little kike running around. This Ian guy, by the way, this Ian Valdez, who's saying all these heinous things about Jewish people, yeah, he is the local chapter president for Charlie Kirk's organization, Turning Point USA. I'm telling you, Turning Point USA is just a breeding ground for just the most vile, heinous, disgusting, hateful racists in our country. And right after they had that exchange about the Jewish people, Valdez goes in and he changes the name of this chat group to Gooning in Agartha. Gooning in Agartha. Now, luckily, these news outlets explain these terms because I had no idea what they meant. They were completely foreign to me. Evidently, gooning is a slang term for male masturbation. And then Agartha, I guess, is talked about on all these alt-right chat groups online, like, subreddit and 4chan and all these other gross places. So Agartha is apparently as they described it, a quote, mythical white civilization promoted by the Nazi politician Heinrich Himmler. And they spoke with an expert who said, you have to be like really steeped in this culture, this online Jew-hating culture, for you to know about this. Because this isn't just something that was, a common, known thing about Himmler. This wasn't written about typically in regard to him. And Gonzalez then explained to the group that basically what this whole Agartha thing is a quote unquote Nazi heaven of sorts, or sort of. Then during another exchange, Valdez told the group, and I'll bring this one up for you. He said, "We need to have a moratorium on immigration temporarily, unless it's someone from a first world country." And then he went on to say, "Yeah, I obviously mean whites." So they can tell us all they want that, oh no, we're just against immigration because they're taking up resources. Oh, we're just against immigration because we don't want criminals coming in and we're worried about American lives and blah. All this bullshit that they try to spin on the MAGA right. It is bullshit. It is a total freaking lie. This is about racism. Plain and freaking simple. So these little fucks in this group were so comfortable with racism. They were so comfortable with these types of statements and horrific behavior that not a single one of them took issue with any of this. Now, I will say whoever leaked it obviously had a problem with it, right? But nobody stood up. Nobody had any morals or principles in this group and said, what are you doing? This is beyond the pale. This is not acceptable. And like I said, all of this occurred over a 2-month period after this group chat was launched. So this stuff obviously just comes second nature to him. To them, I should say. This is common practice, obviously, for these guys. Or otherwise, I mean, you would have at least gotten to feel a little comfortable first. You would have at least gotten to know everybody in the group chat first before you just assume that everybody is on board with your racist crap. Right? How would they know that everybody would just be okay with it and not kick them out? Now, of course, Republican Party leadership, the quote unquote adults, are denouncing this. They're clutching their pearls, fainting on their couches, pretending to be shocked and outraged. How many times, again, has this happened? Once, it's an anomaly. It's an aberration, right? Twice, maybe you could wave it away. You could say, well, this is an unfortunate coincidence, but this keeps happening. I mean, how much of this do we need to see before we go, this is just who they are? This is just who the Republican Party is. As the saying goes, and I've mentioned this before, your vibe attracts your tribe. So obviously, the Republican Party is sending out white supremacist bat signals, right? So that's why they're attracting these types of people. If they were totally anti-racism, if they were quote unquote woke, as they say about the left, these people would want nothing to do with the party. They know this is a safe haven for that. They know this is welcome in the party. These young people know, oh, if I want to be able to spew out this racist garbage with full impunity and nobody's going to bat an eye and I'm going to be embraced and maybe, and not maybe, definitely climb the ladder in the party and achieve, success, quote unquote, and become somebody famous in this party, Republicans all the way. That's the party that's accepting of this. Yeah. And then check this out. So when the Miami Herald reached out to these guys for comment, nothing to say. Nothing to say. The worst one, that William Bejarano, he hung up on the reporter. So typical for these little insecure basement dwellers, isn't it? They have such big mouths online. And then as soon as someone calls them out, they go and run and hide under their mommy skirt. as soon as they're confronted in real life. The only one who actually responded was the guy who created the group, that Carvajal. Even then, though, he tried to bob and weave. He made excuses. He told the Miami Herald this. He said that, oh, I didn't see the messages, about Black people being harmed. And he said, actually, I have this quote for you. It's been 5 months since this was sent, and this is the first time I've seen this message. I guess to an extent I bear some responsibility because I created a chat. But if I had seen this at the moment, I would have removed Bejarano from the chat. I probably would have even blocked his number. Bullshit. Bullshit. That is just the biggest freaking lie. Such a lie. Remember, this is a guy who was using all kinds of slang terms for the N-word. And you're telling me you created this group chat, you took part in lots of it, you made derogatory, negative, racist, slur comments, but, this other guy's comments, I would have been a bridge too far and I just didn't see it. Okay. Yeah. It is time to just start calling the Republican Party what it is, which I'm going to from now on. It is the Nazi Party. If it walks like a Nazi, if it talks like a Nazi, if it acts like a Nazi, it's a fucking Nazi. So from now on, when you hear me say the Nazi Party, you know that's who I'm referring to. You probably could have figured it out without me telling you that. But yeah, they don't deserve to be called the GOP, the grand old party anymore. They don't deserve to be called the Republican Party. They are the party of Nazis. They have allowed it. They have enabled it. They have stoked it. They have propagated it. And they have embraced it. So wear it. Wear it, guys. And say it from the chest. Don't be little frickin' just, wannabe tough guys behind the computer screen. You want to make all these comments, you want to make all these slurs and say all these heinous things and, talk about murdering Black people. Come out and say it. Grow a pair. Frickin' cowards. Anyway, there you go, guys. More of the same. All right, I will let you know if I hear any more. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.